The Orient Bambino. It's an iconic, affordable, automatic dress watch that is loved by the masses. I think it's almost a rite of passage that if you have a watch YouTube channel, you have to at some point review an Orient Bambino. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. Now there are many generations, I think 5 generations of the Orient Bambino and various versions within those generations. It can get a little confusing, but in today's video we're going back and looking at a 2nd generation model of the Bambino, and we're going to do a full review of it in today's video. So thanks for stopping by. Let's get right into the review. Well, here it is, starting off on my 6.5-inch wrist. I'm going to take it off for the review, obviously, so we can get a better look at it. And let me say right off the bat that, first of all, this is not my watch, and it's not a new watch. This watch is being borrowed from my friend Average Joe and his channel, Average Joe Watch Reviews. I'll leave a link to his channel and to his review of this watch. So this is a used watch, but it's in pretty good shape, but you might see a little wear and tear on it. And I also have to say right off the bat that there are so many reviews of various versions of the Orient Bambino that you're probably not going to hear anything new on my channel, but I appreciate you stopping by and supporting the channel and checking out this really beautiful Generation 2 version 2 model of the Orient Bambino. I think it's one of their best, and I am really enjoying my time with this watch. Let's start off with some specs and features. This is the model number FAC 00009N0, and this generation, and I think perhaps all the generations following this one, use the Orient caliber F6 724. Don't quote me on that, but that's what's in this watch. Of course, it has that beautiful domed mineral crystal there, which we'll talk more about. The case material is stainless steel. Case diameter is 40.5 millimeters. Case thickness is a little bit over 11.5 millimeters. Lug to lug, 46.5. Lug width is an odd 21 millimeters. The band material is a genuine leather, but it is made to look like alligator. Water resistance is 30 meters, and I weighed this watch in at 65.5 grams. Now there is no open case back on this watch, but we'll talk about the movement a little bit, and if you want to see what the movement looks like, you can go to Average Joe's video. He actually opened up the case back and took a peek. But the movement has a power reserve of 40 hours. This watch is hand winding, and it does hack, as you can see there. There are 22 joules in this movement, and it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. And just a really cool movement. Of course, it's always nice to have the hand winding feature and the hacking feature. I think that's what a lot of people like to see. And we'll get into talking about the design and durability of this watch. The case itself is very thin. Of course, you get some of that thickness with that domed mineral crystal there, but the case itself is quite thin, and overall it is still a very thin watch at under 12 millimeters. And the case has a nice simple shape. There is kind of a brushing on the sides here and on the lugs, and there is polishing on the small bezel that goes around and the tops of the lugs, and even on the crown. The crown is not signed, as you can see, but it is polished there, so you can get a little reflection in the crown as well. The case is very nice, and I think the size at just a little bit over 40 millimeters is going to be a sweet spot for most people. And to me, the watch wears smaller. At least it feels like it's smaller than even that 40.5 millimeters on my 6.5 inch wrist. I think it fits perfect. The crystal is really a beautiful point of this watch because it protrudes so far out of the case. It really is a unique feature, and it's just beautiful to look at. I like to turn the watch in different ways and get the distortion on the dial, as you can see, and it's just a neat thing. And so far I don't see any scratches on this mineral crystal since Average Joe has had it, so it's holding up pretty good. I think the crown is a good size. Obviously there's no crown guards there, but it's a non-screw down crown. That first position, or the stationary position, is where you can wind the movement. The first position, pull it out, and let's see, there we go. You can change the date, and then the last position, changes the time, hacks the movement. The crown is easy to use, and I think it looks well. I think it's a perfect size for this watch. The dial is a real highlight of this watch as well. This particular generation and this version with this cream dial, I've heard it called beige or champagne as well. Just a beautiful dial, and with those blue hands shining there as well. It just goes together so perfectly, and it's just a beautiful dial. And I personally love the Roman numerals that you get on this watch. I think it really gives it a vintage feel and something unique to look at. And those indices are applied to the dial. It's kind of hard to see with the distortion of the crystal, but those indices are applied, and you get Orient's logo there that seems to be applied, and then their name is written with the word automatic and water resistant. Those are written on the dial. Just a beautiful piece to look at, and I don't think you can really get a more beautiful dress watch at this price point that's automatic and is hand winding and hacking. Just gorgeous to me. Of course, there's no lume on this watch, being a dress watch, which is fine. The band itself is genuine leather and made to look like some sort of crocodile. This one in particular, I don't think is black. It kind of has a dark brown tint to it, in my opinion, but it seems like a good enough quality band for sure. Now the price, the MSRP on Orient's website is $300, and then they have that crossed out, and right now, as the date of this video, they have it for $150. Now as you look around, and like I said, there's so many generations and various versions, it's hard to keep up with all of the prices, but you might be able to find them cheaper than $150. But if I were to buy one, I'd be looking for this version right here, this generation 2, version 2, with this dial and those Roman numerals. I'm really drawn to that. But check around eBay. I'll leave some links down below, Amazon, different places. But this is definitely a sub $200, right around $150 automatic, beautiful dress watch. And I don't think it really gets much better than this Orient Bambino. So if you're in the market for a dress watch, this is a great place to look. Let me get back in front of the camera, and I'll share my final verdict about this beautiful piece. Well, I think it's no surprise after watching this quick review of the Orient Bambino that I love this watch. I was really trying to think of anything negative that I could say about this piece, and I'm coming up blank on that. I just love everything about this, especially this second generation version 2 model with that cream dial. and those Roman numeral indices. I really, really love those. And just the size and shape and the movement and just everything about this watch appeals to me, and the price I think is spot on and right for what you're getting in this watch. I think it's a great value. So if you're interested in this piece, I hope that you'll pick one up. It's a very popular piece, and let me know which versions of the Bambino you like best. There's a ton of them, different variations, different colors, and different indices and hands and that type of thing. There's an open heart version as well. Which Bambino is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in today to J City Reviews. We'll see you next time.